ever since the pandemic, there have been a whole host of new cliché terms that have come into the lexicon of HR and business leaders. Terms like the new normal, unprecedented times, the Great Resignation. And now there's a new one we can add in that bucket, quiet quitting. But what exactly is quiet quitting, and should we be concerned? So this concept revolves around the idea of not actually quitting, but quitting the idea of going above and beyond the roles of the job. Basically, it's disassociating the idea of this hustle culture mentality that comes with work. There are a lot of possible causes to quiet quitting, but burnout certainly could be one. Also wanting something different from work, or the employer purpose is not lining up with the purpose of the employee. Now let's face it, money is certainly an issue. Why go the extra mile when there's no financial incentive? And during this cost of living crisis, this monetary incentive certainly does make sense. No matter the cause, the idea of quiet quitting could possibly lead to decreased productivity and employee engagement. So even though this concept of quiet quitting is quite abstract, there are things that HR teams could potentially be on the lookout for. Things like saying no to tasks that aren't part of the initial job description. Maybe it's clocking out right on the dot, right when their shift is done. It also could be not answering emails post-work hours or engaging in work while on holiday or PTO or sick time. So that's where this concept of quiet quitting doesn't really make a lot of sense. The idea that people have to go above and beyond the initial job description just really doesn't make sense to me. So as I look back in my past work history, I've come to the conclusion that I have probably quiet quit one or two times in past roles. Now, a lot of them were for the reasons I mentioned before, but also I kind of got to the point in some jobs of thinking, why bother going the extra mile when there wasn't even any recognition for it? Recognition is a key factor in employee well-being. So why go the extra mile if I'm being expected to? It just doesn't make sense. So from where I sit, I don't think that quiet quitting is actually really a thing. But this concept has gotten a lot of attention on social media due to the fact that a lot of people are no longer attaching themselves or defining themselves through their work. If it's one thing that the pandemic has taught the world of work, there are so many more important things than the job. Your job does not define you, and your job should not define you. In any case, the issue comes down to HR making sure that their line managers are ensuring that their teams are engaged and not being overworked without a tangible outcome. But I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments.